Look, posting random stuff on LinkedIn is not a pipeline strategy. Posting the right thing for the right buyer with a reason for that buyer to respond, that can become a great pipeline strategy. In fact, it's a strategy used by some of the best salespeople out there. But most sales reps, they're being told to post without being taught what actually creates a conversation. Their manager says, you need to build a personal brand. And marketing says, hey, just share the company content. And then the rep, they open up LinkedIn, they stare at an empty box and think, what am I supposed to say that anyone would care about? By the end of this video, you will know the exact 3-part process for turning one real buyer problem into a useful post, a visible hand raise, and a conversation worth continuing. But before we get into that, at the end, I'm going to offer you something amazing. I'm going to write some LinkedIn posts for you right in front of your eyes for free. And these posts, they won't be generic. They're going to be designed based on my study of thousands of posts that don't just drive comments, they actually drive sales conversations. And all I'm going to ask for you is to answer 4 questions. Tell me your company URL, tell me what you sell, tell me who you sell it to, and why they need your help. And I will take and write you some free LinkedIn posts. Okay, so let's talk about why you aren't winning on LinkedIn right now. First, let's be honest about why most sales content fails. Most sales reps post one of 3 things. Number 1, they post a company announcement. Number 2, they post a product feature. Or number 3, they post a motivational quote that maybe gets a few likes from people who will never buy anything. None of these posts begins with the buyer's current reality. They begin with what the company wants to say or what the rep wants to say. That's why the content feels like human billboard. The buyer doesn't open up LinkedIn hoping to find another product update. They're thinking about a problem they need to solve. The target they are on, that they're behind on, the process that keeps breaking, or the risk that nobody's addressed. If your post names that tension clearly, you don't need to sound clever. You need to sound observant. You need to sound like you know what's going on in their head at 3 a.m. And that's the shift. Stop trying to create content that's cool. Start documenting the problems that your buyers are already paying you with their time, risk, money, or missed opportunities for, right? Just document the problems your current prospects are facing. So here's the 3-part system. Part 1 is to name a specific buyer's pain. Don't start by asking, what should I post today? Start by asking, what problem did I hear on a sales call this week, right? Go through your call notes or your transcripts and look for a phrase the buyer used before the conversation became about your product or service. Maybe they said, our team gets leads, but nobody knows which ones deserve attention. Or maybe they said, our manager takes so long to respond that candidates disappear. Or maybe they said, we have these 3 systems, but we still run the process in a spreadsheet. That's your opening, right? That is the buyer's pain or challenge. Now use the buyer's language, right? Name the situation, explain why it matters, then teach one useful way to think about it. Your post might say, if every lead looks equally important, your reps usually work the easiest leads instead of the best ones. Before adding another prospect tool, define the 3 signals that make an account worth immediate attention. You see, that is not a pitch. It's a useful commercial observation. Now, part 2 is to offer a diagnostic resource, a free guide, something that they can tangibly use to solve the problem. Your post should solve one small part of the problem. The resource should help the buyer go one step deeper. It could be a scorecard, a checklist, a calculator, a decision map, a short guide. If your post is about slow lead follow-up, the resource could be a 5-minute response time audit. If your post is about candidates disappearing, the resource could be a hiring friction scorecard. If your post is about a broken handoff, the resource could be a checklist showing the 7 pieces of information the next team needs. The resource should be specific enough that the buyer immediately understands why they should want it. I have an ebook is vague. I have a 7-point scorecard that shows you where qualified leads are getting stuck. That's useful. You don't have to write a 50-page guide. In many cases, a focused 1-page tool is more valuable because the buyer can understand it and use it quickly. Part 3 is to use a comment keyword call to action. Don't end it with, what do you think? Are you facing this challenge, etc. Most prospects don't want to publicly explain what their company is struggling with. They do not, and don't drop a link and hope the right buyer clicks on it. If they click anonymously, you still don't know who wants help. So you give them a simple action. Comment scorecard, and I will send it to you. Comment audit, and I will send you the checklist. Comment plan, and I will send you the decision map. That comment is a low friction way for them to raise their hand, right? They can raise their hand right in the comment section. The buyer's not agreeing to a demo. They're not admitting failure. They're simply asking for something useful. Now you have a relevant reason to begin a direct conversation. You can reply, just sent it. Move into the direct messages and deliver what you promised and ask one simple question related to the resource. That is how the post becomes more than just content. It becomes a front door to a sales conversation. More importantly, it drives up the social signal so more people like them see it. So how do you make this repeatable? Well, you build a system to do this over and over again, not just off your company information, but off of sales transcripts. And you have it create 10 of these posts each week delivered to you on day one, and you schedule them out on autopilot. So let me show you how easy this could be to prove it to you. Click on the custom LinkedIn post button below. It's going to pop open and you're going to answer 4 simple questions. You're going to tell me your company URL, you're going to tell me what you sell, who you sell it to, and why they need your help, right? Based on my study of thousands of posts that drive not just comments, but conversations, I'll actually write you a set of fully custom LinkedIn posts just for your company based off what you sell, who you sell it to, and why you sell it. Right in front of your eyes. You're welcome to take those posts and see how they work. And when they do, we probably should talk. Because this process, it can be put on autopilot. It can be delivered into your inbox every single week without you lifting a finger. I've seen this literally double lead flow overnight. So try it out now and tell me what you think.